And we're back in record time.
Hey everybody, welcome. Josh is incredibly sick right now.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm using third person, but I'm incredibly sick right now. So yeah, welcome back to Sunday.
And it is Story Snark again.
Yeah, it's Story Snark again. We're doing One Piece again. Let's see if we actually get out of this arc, or if it turns out that this arc is the only part of the storyline for the game. I don't know.
Yeah, we're not sure. We started worrying about that.
I'm continuing to worry about it, to be honest, because there's a lot of space on the right-hand side, and there's not a lot of space left on the left-hand side, and so far on the left-hand side, all three of these have been the exact same one.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
that
bugging
could
me a
turn
little
out
bit.
that it scrolls down as it goes.
Yeah, it could. It totally could. So I have done no warm-ups.
And I still don't really remember what happened last time, except that it was the same thing. It kept happening.
Yeah, I've done no warm-ups for this so far this week. Last week I did about an hour worth of prep ahead of time where I was warming up, so we'll see if not touching this for a week and then coming back in late in the storyline for like an incredibly difficult character is going to mean that I'm literally losing every single fight. I don't know.
You'll probably be fine. It hasn't been that long.
No, yeah, I know. I'm kind of joking more than anything. I had to do the hour worth of warm up last week because it was like 3 months since we had played it last.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I guess. Look, I beat Jinbei without even trying.
You're the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I'm Volcano Man.
I keep feeling like the animated loop of people in the background whacking each other with sticks is a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it's
because
kind of just
that would be a great destructible environment.
Crocodile is also a villain, but Luffy pulled him out of Impel Down, the big prison. So he's showing up here just to protect Luffy, because Luffy actually has turned out to at least be, like, nice enough that he pulled him out of prison.
Have we
Even though Luffy's also the one who put him there. In Luffy's storyline we did, yeah.
Okay, but he would have been on our side?
Yeah, he was on our side for a little bit.
So this is our first time fighting.
This is the first time we have that we are actually fighting him, yes.
Okay, so
to my knowledge, anyway.
What is he?
He is Crocodile. He's a devil fruit user who does have a Logia, like the villain that we are currently playing as. His is sand. So he turns his whole entire body into sand whenever he wants. And he's got a real cool hook. Like,
It's not that cool a hook.
It's pretty cool. He's also a crime lord who took over a country like 2 arcs before this one.
So he's like a Yakuza boss or something?
Yeah, the idea was that he was basically
like
Yakuza pirate. Yeah.
That is not a cool hook.
Oh, fuck. It's kind of a cool hook. Okay, I'm actually dying.
It was, like,
sized
in a way that made it look impractical.
Okay,
it looked like a costume.
It's supposed to be. It's a giant hook. And then he's also got, like, his coat on his back and everything else. Like,
no, that looks fine. It's just the hook just looks like it's plastic and he got it at the Halloween store.
Oh, well, yeah, a little bit. It's supposed to be a big, gaudy gold thing. He's also got
It doesn't really look gold either. It's a little
cigar
dark.
in his mouth, and he's got the big scar going over his face for no real reason.
The dynamic manga shading on everything kind of makes that hook look like it's bronze at best.
Yeah. Also, the character Nico Robin, the one who has all of the hands that grow out of everything, was originally Crocodile's underling and wound up getting saved by Luffy, and she went from Crocodile to Luffy's team.
Okay.
Okay.
I forgot there was a person
I'm actually
with
getting
hands.
ruined. Yeah. Sorry that I keep dying.
This crowd of fighting dudes in the back, and I keep thinking, like, there's destruction in the environment sometimes. It would be great if you could just slam someone into that and people went flying.
You can.
Could you?
Yeah. If you finish a match doing that, you do get destructible background stuff. And I think if it hits the people, it does send them flying.
Good. I haven't noticed.
Yeah. No, that's totally a thing.
I'll just keep my eye on.
I'm actually surprised you haven't noticed.
I don't know. There's a lot going on screen.
Yeah, maybe
usually.
that's what.
Yeah,
it is
let's be fair. Look at all this. They got sound effects. The sound effects are a nice touch. A lot of the whole manga style they're going for is kind of weird in like color 3D, but the sound effects do look good.
Yeah.
And then you got all of these, like, effects going on everywhere. And the camera's zooming everywhere. It's like, I'm not seeing the background.
I still don't really care for the over-the-shoulder thing.
Yeah.
I don't think we're really going to cut for this one, by the way, because, like, we do usually cut for things like this, but these go so fucking fast.
Yeah.
And Story Snark, I don't think I've had to ever do any real cuts for.
Yeah,
so
that's
like,
part of why we're doing it again, is because
I
it's
do
quick.
like doing it. It's really...
He had
it's
so much fun
easier on me
last time.
than it is on, like... Well, it's easier on me than most of the other series that we do, and I'm very sick right now, again, so...
Yeah, so it's not obvious, probably, because we're bad at it, but we aim for 30 minutes with our Sunday.
Oh, yeah, no, we're terrible at that.
Yeah,
though.
usually we're either taking too long to fight things, or we lose track of ourselves. And with One Piece, it's absolutely that Josh is having fun. He's like, one more match.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's part of why I wanted him to do
this.
this.
My Logia? What's going on here?
Like, I told him a couple days ago, it's like, if you want to just do this one again, it's fine. Normally we mix it up a little, and I genuinely had a lot of fun with Blaze Blue specifically, but it was like hell for Josh, because he had to edit it. And there were a lot of cuts in most Blaze Blues.
Yeah, the sound effects got really loud at the end there, and I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
I think it's while they're talking, the sound effects are all, like, really quiet, and then, like, as soon as they're done talking, the sound effects go back to normal, and it's like, oh god.
Yeah, and they're doing a lot of dialogue that I don't pay attention. Who's that mustache guy?
Some completely different character that I don't actually know if we've met much of yet.
Yeah, these things seem like non sequiturs without the context of the actual
There were a lot
show.
of characters in the series who were introduced during this arc, specifically in this fight. Like the guy who with the Phoenix powers, the guy that we keep like talking about every so often, that guy only showed up now. This is the first time he ever showed up.
So how does he know whose side he's on?
Because you just kind of got to assume. He shows up.
How does he know what side he's on?
Who? Crocodile or
Whichever guy just showed up.
I don't know. It's a good question. A lot of them have alliances already, so they're just working under the assumption that, well, my captain is working for this guy right now, so I'm working for my captain, so I need to just, do this.
And that's it. Like,
that's
they
pretty much
introduce
it.
characters with just that, and yet they're still prominent enough to be, like, playable in here, and that we gotta know all these things about them.
A lot of them did become bigger after this. This was basically just... we need a bunch of characters all at once. Let's just get them all going at once. Oh my god, he's ruining me again.
Okay, so it's sort of vindicated later on, but I don't know, the context for this game feels very strange.
Maybe.
Like, how long between this happening in the manga and this... how much time passed between this happened in the manga and then this happening in a video game?
You mean like when the video game came out?
Yes.
I don't know, a couple years.
So, like, that makes sense. Like, it's an entire video game, you gotta, like, make it first, and they presumably did the anime episodes before that.
Yeah.
So, like,
it
does...
one of those ones that just kind of continues forever.
But the thing with that is, like, mangas usually continue on while all that's happening, and so, like, that kind of adds context to things, but when you make the game here, like, they kind of gotta not take all of that context in because they're trying to recreate this moment. I don't know if you can stop him. You can try and ask nicer than that. Say please
I've
twice.
not succeeded in beating this guy, and he's now switching. Like, they weren't doing this to begin with. They were waiting until Crocodile died before they actually switched.
Is this just the win scenario just beat them, or is there a
the
time?
win scenario is just beat them.
Okay.
And it's like, I'm dying really hard.
Yeah, you are.
It's fine. I guess I can deal with it.
Yeah, it's warm-up. And
yeah,
also,
I mean, it's kind of warm-up, yeah.
Despite there not being much happening in this, because it's the same fight over and over, there's just so much to unpack about everything going on in the way they presented this game.
A little bit. I know you're having fun talking about that.
Yeah, like, I don't know anything. Still, I don't. You just keep...
Oh my god,
anytime you give me context, it gets more confusing. I believe you said that they're fighting on ice because this used to be like the harbor and they froze it.
Somebody
Who the
froze
fuck
it up,
did
yeah.
that?
I think it was the guy with ice powers did it specifically.
Oh, yeah, that narrows it down. I remember who
there's
that
one
is.
dude. It's the guy. He wears like a little. He's got like sleepy eye sleeping mask on, and he rides a bicycle. But I don't think he does that in this game.
Yeah, I'd recognize that.
He's really tall, and he's got kind of like vaguely sort of.
Can we be real here? Everyone in this
hair.
is really tall.
A lot of these characters are pretty
this
tall.
style is lanky.
Surprisingly, Luffy is not actually that tall. He's pretty short compared to some of these other characters. It is also addressed that Luffy might not be a child, but he might still be semi-young, so it's kind of...
Everyone's like 10 heads tall as a baseline
like
here.
an official age ever given. Some of these guys are like 10 heads tall, I guess. Why is it that I can't... knock him down with that? That's so weird. Or is it because he's pulling out his Logia right at the... Yeah, you know what? I think I know what it is.
You're doing okay.
Not as well as I'd like to be doing right now.
Oh yeah, no, of course. So... That's
okay, he's dead
one,
now.
But you gotta get both?
Yeah, you gotta kill both of them.
Yeah. And this is fire versus fire?
It's magma versus Phoenix, which is slightly different from just being fire versus fire.
So Phoenix is not a fire
not
type
technically,
Pokemon.
yeah.
It's, so I guess Phoenix is an element the way Dragon is an element.
Oh no, he's gonna kill her.
Oh, it looked cool.
Phoenix is an animal, and the animal, the Phoenix, is what he is part.
Okay, so there's just regular phoenixes running around.
Potentially. I mean, there are a handful of animals that you do get that are just like mythological animals that get fruits in this, and the idea is that like if you have a giraffe fruit, that's one thing. If you've got like a unicorn fruit, you've probably got better abilities than the giraffe.
So how do
guy.
those happen? Does like a giraffe or unicorn just sort of like piss on a tree?
Drown in a pool or something? Nobody knows where the devil fruits come from. That's literally like
Do
one
they
of
not
the
come
big
from trees?
weird things. They probably come from devil fruit trees, yeah. And I think most of them are addressed as like they literally just seem to come out of nowhere as part of pirate bounty. So they find them in other countries, and then pirates steal from pirates, and that's where most of them have come from. Specifically, Luffy did steal one from a pirate as a kid without realizing what it was, and that's why he has his powers, and almost every other character who's had them for that long has them for that exact reason.
Forgive
It's
me
like,
if I've
oh, I was a
asked
kid,
already,
or-
but can you cook with them?
Yes, you can.
So if you cook with one and then distribute the cooked product to multiple people,
You
do they all get
can't
little
distribute
bits?
it to different people. I think is specifically something you're not
So
able to do.
if you make a nice,
I
delicious
actually
pot
beat
of
him there.
jam
I'm fucking,
and you
like,
just
blown away.
spread it on toast and hand it out to your whole family, you don't all
I
get
think
like
there's-
1/5 of a
I think there's
hour.
a chance that would work for temporary situations. I think maybe that's been addressed as like it would kill you though. I don't remember for
So
serious
if you
or
cook it,
for
it
real.
kills you?
No. And also, no matter what you do with it, no matter how you cook the devil fruit, it tastes terrible. Like, canonically, every character who eats one in the early stuff
Can you
is like,
just
this
put a
tastes
bunch of
bad.
sugar in it?
And then in the later stuff, it's addressed that they have a, like, unanimously bad taste. No matter what your tastes are, no matter how they fall, you always think upon eating a devil fruit that it does not taste good. No matter how it's cooked, like, no matter what's going on.
Is it just like it's psychologically like just
It's
taking whatever you
probably
hate and making
psychological.
itself taste like that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, sure, magic.
Yeah, well, they are magic. They're devil magic, I guess. They're black magic.
So since we're the bad guy and we win, does this mean this game is just branching storylines?
No, I think it's, oh, well, we won this fight, but the outcome is still exactly the same.
Yeah, that's always annoying. Where it's
Because
like you
none of the
won, but you
cutscenes have been
narrowly
different.
escaped
All of the
defeat.
cutscenes are exactly the same. But yeah, it's basically just everything is exactly the way that it always is, no matter what, and all stories are canon.
Have we seen this before?
Excuse me. No, this is new.
Okay.
We haven't seen this. This is some shit. That's his ability. And he very rarely uses that. But if he uses that on Devil Fruit users, he, like, when they're dead, he can take the power from them.
So who's this guy?
This is a kid that Luffy meets earlier on, who I think wants to be a pirate and then decides to be a marine. And he just becomes a marine. And now he's just yelling at people.
That mouth
That
loop
mouth
looks
is supposed
great.
to... He kind of just looks like that. That's intentional.
I mean, it probably looks better to be intentional in 2D. So he just wants the fighting to stop?
Yeah, he's just saying, please stop this.
We're not gonna listen, right? We're gonna beat the shit out of him? What's his power?
I don't know. He doesn't have a power, he's just a kid.
Oh boy, let's beat the shit out of him.
He's actually just one of the few characters who's like, this is just a normal person.
Huh.
I don't even think he has haki.
Why is his hair like that then? Or is that not an indication of anything?
No, it's not really an indication, he's just got stupid hair.
Yeah, no, it's like with anime you can't tell if someone's got bright pink hair because they're like an elf or just because like in universe that's normal. Sometimes it's explicitly like supposed to mean something.
Fuck. I forgot he showed up for this.
Who?
You'll see. It's cool. So, when Luffy started out and he stole a fruit from an actual, like, pirate, this is the pirate.
Okay.
This is also the pirate who Luffy took his hat and became his straw hat Luffy. This is the guy whose hat it originally was. He's one of the 4 emperors, and it's Red Hair's Shanks. And he's just a really good pirate. I don't think Shanks is a Devil Fruit user. I think he's just a dude.
Okay.
And Luffy originally, like, fucked up and cost Shanks his arm.
Nice neck,
So,
buddy.
yeah. Shanks is missing, you didn't see it so well, but Shanks is missing his left arm.
Okay.
And he used to, I think he was originally left-handed or some stupid shit like that. But it's some, like, thing where it's like he protected Luffy from being eaten by a giant eel by just sacrificing his arm to it.
Okay.
And Luffy had a promise that he made to Shanks, which was, until I am king of the pirates, I will never see you again. And Shanks waited until Luffy passed out because Ace died to show up so that Luffy wouldn't break his promise.
Okay.
Also, potentially because he was just there late. I have no idea.
Yeah, maybe the boat took a wrong turn at the ocean.
Yeah, Shanks is both a complete badass and then also a gag character at the same time. Which is, it's weird, but he pulls it off. It's kind of like... One Piece is like, what if Gohan was a character that was kind of a dick a lot, and then this is just Goku. But Goku never shows up in the series except, you know, once in a very great while.
Because he's always dead.
No, because he just doesn't want to see his kids. It's more that than anything. Aokiji, the guy on the left, 3 down, is the one who froze the field.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, we've fought him a few times.
Okay.
Apparently we finished this episode.
Cool. Okay. I thought there was going to be another fight.
It can literally only be Ace. I mean, the storyline can literally only be exactly the same. Because Ace dies at the end of this no matter what happens.
Maybe we'll get some prologue.
Maybe we will. But god fucking damn it. Oh, it is. It's a different island. Okay.
Alright. A new setting.
Thank you.
Just wait until it shows up to be the same damn place a few fights in. What's wrong with that horse?
Oh, that's just, he looks like that.
Okay.
The guy on his back is, like, constantly basically dead, too. That's the doctor for Blackbeard's ship.
Okay. So what's happening?
The joke is that he's a guy who's a doctor and is almost completely dead at all times, riding on the back of an incredibly decrepit, like, broken horse. It's a guy riding on a white horse. He's literally death.
Okay.
And he just looks goofy.
So what
That's
was
Blackbeard.
happening prior to this?
Ace was chasing these guys down and found them on this island.
But why?
And now they're, because they've been fucking with Whitebeard stuff, and now they're telling him, hey, join us instead.
Okay.
We're gonna kill Luffy.
Yeah, I feel like this still doesn't give it... I mean, it's more context than we've gotten up until now, but it's still like, okay, well, this isn't the beginning of anything.
Yeah, and now he's like, come, we're gonna kill Luffy, and we're gonna turn him in for the bounty, and he's like, yeah, I guess I can't let him run around doing whatever he wants, because he's my brother, you dick. Like, you ain't gonna kill my little brother, fuck you. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, he's, okay, Blackbeard legitimately Blackbeard legitimately plays like a gag character would. He's got a lot of, like, Hercules-style moves. I can't help but notice this. Like, he's using guns. If you knock him down, he does this thing where he's, like, wiggling around on the ground crying. I did 1 hit of damage, by the way.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I'm gonna give that another shot.
Well, to be fair, you haven't used this character yet.
I've used him once before, actually.
Oh, well...
And I had to do a lot of training with him to make sure that I actually was able to make it work. So, this is actually a character that I do have quite a bit of stuff.
Oh, well then, just get good.
Yeah, he's just ruining me is all.
Is it just his defense is good? Well, he's guarding.
No, yeah, his AI is just real good because he's guarding so well. And I can't land my shield breaker because his shield is... Sorry, no. Ace's shield breaker takes too much to charge up. Because it takes a little bit for him to actually do it right. Oh, fuck. You see, anytime you hear that sweet and you see, like, the blue fire going on, that's me getting ready to break the shield. But I have, like, a split second where I have to charge it before I can land it.
Okay.
And in that time, he usually sidesteps me and just hits me. So what I really need to start doing is using my own shield and not, like... Oh, fuck this guy.
He kicked you while falling,
Yes,
I guess.
that's... No, when he's on the ground, like I said, he functions like a gag character. When he's on the ground and he's kicking and crying like that, he's still able to hit you. That's still him doing damage. He is not safe on the ground, and you can't land like OTG hits on him.
Can you just hit him from a distance? Because he seems to be getting you bad up close.
Maybe, but he could just back up if that was the case.
Okay, that's pretty
And that
big.
hits pretty good too, yeah. Oh, fuck, I can't... Oh, God. What the fuck? Dude. This is awful. I'm doing so bad here.
The scenery's nice.
Yeah, well, that doesn't matter. I don't care about that.
I know.
I'm trying to do this without dying. And I'm very sick still, so I'm still, like, all over the goddamn place. Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
So he's got, like... Are those 3 guns stuck down the front of his pants?
On Blackbeard? Yeah. Yeah, Blackbeard just uses guns and...
Why do you need 3 of them, and why do they need to go there?
Oh, I don't know.
That seems
those actually
unsafe.
might be cutlasses. I can't tell from here.
That's worse.
I don't know.
I think having a knife in your pants is usually worse than a gun in your
fuck.
pants.
Yeah, this is a really hard fight, actually. Like, this is this is really difficult. I don't know what's up with this. And that is not helping me. Holy shit, that doesn't help.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Is it just you gotta get a timing to it because of the build-up on your attack?
No, okay, so that is... Oh, no. Fuck, his grab is like half screen. Holy shit. Oh my god. Fuck you. Oh my god,
Well,
fuck you!
You did pretty good for a bit.
Yeah, but now I'm not.
But you still got time.
Oh, fuck.
Never mind.
No, I don't. And also, his hits are really hard.
I have noticed.
Like, he takes very little damage, and he dishes out quite a bit. So, it's not a matter of time. It's a matter of, like, literally just he's ruining me from a distance. And from up close. Like, that, by the way, it looks like most of his attacks might have shield breaking on them as well. Like, he's landing a lot of normals that are just breaking me.
So is there just a really specific range on your move, and he was just out of the...
Yeah. He was just out of it.
Yeah, okay.
He also, that grab is really throwing me off, because he can hit that from, it looks like it's literally like half the stage away. Like, I'm wondering if this is a boss version of this character, or if he's seriously just this fucking annoying to fight.
Did we not fight him as the
I
last
fought
guy?
him as Whitebeard once.
And he wasn't like this.
He wasn't quite this bad, yeah.
Okay. Oh, that works.
Yeah, maybe I just gotta jump over that one.
Yeah, like if it's in the ground, you just gotta not be on the ground.
Oh god, I feel like a doof.
What?
I just realized, Ace is a Logia. So I actually have built-in protection. As long as it's working, I can actually protect myself for periods of time. Oh, fuck.
Oh, so that's why they made this as hard as they did?
Well, no, he's just a type of character. I've had to play as other Logia before. In a lot of their
It's just that
fights
you're not
are
using
pretty
the thing
hard,
for...
Yeah, I'm not using him to the best of his ability.
Okay. So it's not that the fight is necessarily hard. It's
Well,
that
it
you-
is. It is. I can tell you right now.
Okay.
It's pretty fucking hard either way. Like, why? Okay, that's interesting. I've just realized something.
What?
For some strange reason, they're like gimping my Logia.
Maybe it's because it's so early on
there
in
it
the...
is. Okay. It wasn't working for a little bit there. It just straight up was not working.
Well, it looked like you didn't have any meter.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Oh!
Because of that.
Oh, he can pull. Okay, that's not good. I didn't realize that's what was up. And now it's not coming back anymore.
Just give it a moment. I think maybe it doesn't come back while you're punching?
Maybe.
There it goes. Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Okay, got
Oh,
it.
shit. That was pretty good.
Not
Alright.
as good as I wanted it to be.
No, but I mean, like, the way the final blast sort of went, he was in just the right place.
Yeah. I really don't like that this guy is basically getting built up, like even in the manga and the anime and everything for normal One Piece, this guy is built up as being the coming final boss, and he looks like a joke. Also, I'm not sure if you caught it there, but Ace's tattoo on his left arm says Ace, but somebody wrote S instead of C and then crossed it out, and it's A-S-C-E, and the S has a big X going through
Is that
it.
significant?
No, it just means that he probably got the tattoo and somebody was like, Ace, right? A-S-E? And then he had to be like, no, C-E.
In context, I mean, that's not a Japanese word. And if it's written in English, then, yeah.
A lot of the stuff in this series is written in English, though. Like the Marines on the hats and everything, that's not originally in Japanese, it just says Marine in English.
Okay. Well, I don't know, maybe there's some reason. Maybe it was a personal in-joke for the artist. That's how the physics would work on that.
Yeah, well, they only had
Maybe
the one model.
Maybe it's a really stiff cord.
The model only had the one kind of physics. They couldn't help it.
I guess.
It's just how it was.
Alright, is he the only one who gets any experience?
No, everybody
there we
does.
go.
Everybody gets the one character you play as gets experience, and then everybody else gets like 1/10 of that experience.
Okay.
Am I immediately going there? Okay, no, it's just Ace is saved by Luffy. The brothers fight in perfect combination to defeat all the foes around them.
Alright.
So I don't know what this is gonna be. At least we're not in Marineford again.
Are we in just another gray building place?
Actually,
Because that looks pretty similar.
this might be on a boat.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
So then you can have
I'm trying
ring
to
outs?
remember how this works.
Because
I don't think so. No, I think there's an invisible wall. Oh no, this is just the thing again. So now we've gone right back to where we were for the last one.
well, it was a nice excursion.
Here's the big Buddha guy too.
Huh.
They're like, Ace is on the scaffold. If it falls, he's gonna get away. So just blow the whole thing up. Who cares?
Well, if you were gonna execute a guy anyways, you might as well.
Yeah, well that's the idea behind it.
So was there just some cool and interesting thing that we didn't see because they just zipped forward to this?
No, he gets captured by Blackbeard and turned in, and then they go ahead and execute him. And that's just the whole thing. Although, I think prior to this, because Mr. 3, who's a guy who has, like, wax powers, makes a key to bust the cuffs off of Ace, that's the only reason he's able to do this, because Devil Fruit users, if they have certain kinds of handcuffs on, cannot use their abilities. So Ace would have burned to death in that if he still had his handcuffs on. But because he doesn't, now he can just absorb
our other
fire.
guy not burning to death?
Because Ace is near him, and he's just pulling it out.
Okay, sure. Area of effect.
Yeah, it's like an area of effect thing, no question.
An area of effect for, like, a passive immunity, though, is kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, Luffy's made of rubber, so the worst that would happen is that he'd maybe just melt, sort of.
That would smell really bad.
Yeah. It's always kind of questionable exactly how much of him is rubber at the end of the day, because it's like he I think can be burned. You can cut him, but you can't shoot him, is another thing.
What if you shoot him with a knife?
That would cut him. But shooting him with
like
bullets
a
just,
gunblade.
like, sink into him and then bounce back is the big thing. Like, cannonballs, too, don't do anything to him.
Sure.
And there's at least one guy at one point who...
What if you, like, throw something at him that's, like, a chemical that would potentially, like, mess with the rubber?
That could do it.
Like, would that be, like, acetone? I don't know.
Yeah, it might work. There's at least one guy who is, like, the final boss of an arc, and nobody can fight him or touch him, and the guy's unstoppable. And he controls electricity, and then he lands a huge electric hit on Luffy, and Luffy just stands there and doesn't even brace himself, and he's just like, I'm sorry, what happened? And the guy gets this big look on his face like, oh no, and it turns out just Luffy is immune to fucking lightning guys, apparently.
Okay.
You can't touch him with electricity.
Interesting effects where it, like, has damage happen in the person's
in the
weird
Logia stuff, yeah.
elemental afterimage thing. Just, it's actively based on where you've hit them, too.
It's happened with every character.
I've only started noticing
sure
it now.
Noticed it or not.
No, I didn't.
Oh, come on, guy. Fuck.
Well, shouldn't you have a distinct advantage here?
No, because elements kind of don't really mean anything
you just
in a
said
fighting
that, like,
game, anyway.
You just said that the rubber guy is immune to the electric guy.
The electric guy's not in this game.
Okay, fine.
I mean, if he was, then yeah, maybe it would still work that way, but I kind of doubt it, to be totally honest. I wouldn't know, though, because I don't know if there's been any game that's actually been produced with that guy in it. So, I don't know. It would be a laughable fight if that was the case.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Like how sometimes at the end of a game you've got, like, the very, very extra final boss is, like, the third stage of the final boss, and it's like it can't do anything to you.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Yes, that was really close.
Yeah, it's kind of a clutch win.
Yeah, I was about to say, oh, you got it, but I stopped myself in case you didn't.
Yeah, sorry if I'm not talking during some of these. I'm focusing, I'm sick,
yeah,
so my
I'm
voice is
trying
doing
to-
this weird thing.
I'm
and
trying to
I-
come up with things to say, but mostly I've been asking questions just about this
That's
setting,
fine.
so I know it's
The guy
not
we just
great.
beat up leveled up, by the way. Not this
Well,
one, this is Kizaru, but,
I mean-
but there he is, Aokiji.
They give you experience for losing. That's forgiving.
Kinda.
I like
But yeah,
it when a game does that, actually.
Did you notice, by the way, that the map we were on is completely different now? We've gone back to this one.
Yeah. This map hasn't changed, though, right?
No, this map is actually this map doesn't have the frozen shit in the middle anymore.
Huh.
But I can't remember if it had it there to begin with, so I don't know. I don't like that. I don't think Jinbei is a playable character in this, and I'm actually really disappointed if that's the case. Because he is so pivotal in this arc, and he's such a cool character. Like, he's just a big Oni fish man.
That seems like the kind of character you'd like.
Yeah. He's a
You
really
like
cool guy, too.
monsters,
He
you like-
he basically defects from the military for this.
Okay.
Like, he likes Luffy, and the military pulls this shit, and he goes, you know what? Fuck it. And just walks away.
And you tend to relate well to, like, giant monster dudes that are
Yeah, a
just
little
chill.
bit. I can't help it.
I know. People know what you look like by proxy from all the drawings I've
Yeah,
done.
probably. People keep suggesting I look like a bear or a dog Digimon for some strange reason.
Like a Digimon specifically?
Somebody said that. Somebody left a comment about that.
We know what the bear Digimon tend to look like, and they're not really like bear humans. Like, they're more like teddy bears, so... I can come up with a Digimon design for you, but then I'd have to do a whole line, and that would mean, like, the baby form is just your head rolling around the ground.
Yeah, this, by the way, is the stupidest reason for Ace to die. Like, all that it takes is for this guy to turn around, like, for Ace to start to run and this guy start shit-talking Whitebeard, for Ace to stop running, turn around, and be like, I'm gonna kill you.
Nobody calls me chicken.
No, he's shit-talking basically his, like, fake dad. And he's saying the only reason he tells you to call him dad is because he can't be king. And he's a fucking loser, and you guys are dregs.
My dad could beat up your dad?
No, it's my dad could beat up you, except my dad is dead now.
Okay. So wait, like that guy died in between because they're kind of fast-forwarding this?
Kind of, yeah. We even saw it in his particular... Oh my god. We even saw it in his thing where Whitebeard just kind of like dies on the boat, and he's like, oh, at least I get to be surrounded by my sons. And it's like, yeah, sort of. And this guy is all about, like, just shit-talking him right now to get Ace's stuff going. He just wants Ace to stop and fight, because he knows he can beat the crap out of Ace if he needs to.
They just want to kill this guy. They don't care how.
Yeah. Pretty much, they just want to kill Ace. They don't care what the fuck's going on.
Well...
They'll resort to all sorts of things to kill him if they got it.
We know that there's not going to be a branching storyline if we manage to not die, right? We'll just
No,
die
we're gonna get the same
cutscene.
cutscene. We'll just die in the cutscene. That's all that happens. And I literally just have to beat this guy, but I'm still gonna die in the cutscene. So.
Do you think it would have been like smarter for them to have set this up so that you play the losers first?
You'd think so, right?
So the people who lose, and this guy, if he dies, he's the ultimate loser. And then the villains who don't get what they want are then, like, the losers after that. And then you get, like, the main character winning as your final, but then people would be mad, I guess.
Yeah.
Because you want to be able to play as the main character. Seems like a given.
Yeah.
That's always a thing that's kind of worth questioning in video games. So sometimes it seems like the main character shouldn't be the one you always go with.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it would be cooler to get characters who are not the main character to do things like that way.
Yeah. Like, sometimes it just kind of feels like you don't want to be Mario.
Sometimes I want to do a whole game where I'm playing as Frieza conquering planets, not Goku.
That would be fine. That would be cool, especially if they do it like... Actually, that could be really cool if they did it like,
Oh, fuck.
So that... the current Dragon Ball games have a create a character, right?
Sort of, yeah.
Can you imagine a create a character where all of your options are just like Frieza army races? So you could be any of the Ginyu Force species and stuff. And then you could be like, you start with like training as like a soldier in the Frieza army, and then maybe you can like unlock Frieza as a fighter later on and you're just wrecking shit. They could just do a whole bunch of like non-canon planets and stuff. Like they could just come up with some just to go and wreck things on. That would actually be great.
Yeah,
Why don't we get that?
I don't know.
It could also, well, actually, no, that's why they wouldn't do it. I was thinking they could use it as an excuse to, like, flesh out Frieza's species, but it's like, you know what? They're never going to do that.
Yeah, no, we're never going to get that.
We're never going to get a name for Frieza's species.
Yeah, let alone any sort of, like, fleshing out. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, the fridge aliens are not going to ever get any actual explanations.
The Freezies.
Yeah, the Frosty Boys are just going to continue to be It's just Frieza and things that look like Frieza, but Frieza's the only important one, so they're just called Friezas.
Well, I mean, his brother is important, and his dad's important, and his grandpa's important.
His brother is only in, like, the movies and stuff. Is he even canon?
I think he technically is. I don't know for sure. I'm pretty sure Frieza's grandpa is canon too, even though he's only ever appeared in the movies as well. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I haven't
he's
even
in the Bardock
seen.
Movie.
I haven't seen any of the cooler movies.
Yeah.
By the way, so I don't know shit about.
I don't even
Cooler.
actually know if I have either. I'm thinking about it now. I'm pretty sure I've seen at least one of them.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know for sure.
But
I'm getting my ass ruined by it, kind of. I know.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But like, wouldn't it be great though if we did get just a game about Frieza that actually like fleshes out the world? Maybe just pull stuff in from GT, pull stuff in from Super. I don't
GT's
know.
terrible. Don't pull things in.
Well, I don't have very much experience with GT, and every time I mention it, you do say that, and it's like it probably does suck.
It's terrible.
But like
it's
I don't
basically
know.
like
Are there
it's
any
fan
weird
fiction.
aliens?
It's Dragon Ball fan fiction.
I want a game that's Dragon Ball fan fiction. That's what I'm describing
Also, yeah,
right now.
there's tons of aliens, but
They can bring
honestly,
some of those
they're
in.
not worth it. It's
Eh.
fan races. It's
No,
things
no,
that
that's
are-
what I mean. Like, just a game where Frieza goes out there and fights things, and it's like they give us a new alien design. So yes, fan races. Like, you're the one who gave me the idea that we should have a Frieza game, and I'm agreeing, and now you're saying it's bad.
Yeah,
Oh, is this good? That works.
kind of works. I think he is not getting hit by it though. I think he's blocking it. And
Oh.
there's no chip damage in this game. It's weird. I haven't noticed up until now.
Huh. Yeah, what the hell?
Oh, come on. He was just outside of my range. Fucker.
Well, now he's taking damage.
Well, yeah, but that's because he's real close.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hit him without, like, getting my ass handed to me, basically.
That did, like, nothing.
Well, that was a guard breaker. You're supposed to follow it up, but he was too far back for me to do it.
Oh, well, that's fair enough,
That's
I
my
guess.
fault, actually. He's also blocking pretty much everything I can throw at him. Like,
Yeah,
this is
what the
clearly
hell?
supposed to be a very late fight.
Is this gonna just be a really short chapter?
I don't... Probably, yeah. Probably, because he's like 3 or 4 hits in and he kills me, so yeah. Like, he's getting off one combo and it's making me dead. So I'm gonna guess that this is like... The intent is that this is supposed to basically be the final boss of this game, possibly. Or of this chapter at the very least, yeah. Because we haven't figured out how long this game is actually going to be.
Yeah. Why didn't we check how long to beat?
I don't remember. I think maybe I did when we first started, but that was a long time ago.
And we don't remember what it said?
Yeah, I don't remember what it said at all.
Oh.
Hey, he
didn't
was
have a
blocking
shield.
that time.
Yeah. He caught him by surprise, shot him in the dick.
Just barely. Gonna move that big dead sword there.
Whose sword was that?
That was the Giant's. I think it's actually a knife, it's not a sword. And he just
Okay.
shows up to this fucking war with a knife.
This is gonna make us dizzy.
Yeah, it's fine.
Like I mean, it's partly just the camera in this is gonna make us dizzy with it
A little bit
keeps
because
like
of the way
this.
that it's built to begin
Yeah, it's
with,
not
yeah.
even just the fact that you're choosing to do that. It's just like
no,
they
no,
should
no,
have
no,
thought
no,
of
no,
that.
fucker. I'm trying to build up my instinct at this point, or not my instinct, sorry. I'm trying to build up my meter at this point. I think it's like called rage in this game.
Oh, that thing down in the corner?
Yeah, because if you can get it all the way up, you do enter like a super mode where you can get a like big old ultras and shit to go off.
Okay. Oh yeah, it goes up pretty slow.
Yeah, but if you're doing supers and shit, you can get it to go up pretty quickly.
Alright.
The problem is that I gotta hit him.
Well, oh, that's not bad. It doesn't give you the camera swoop every time.
Yeah, I know. I know you don't want the camera swoop. I can't help it.
And it's just when you do it a bunch of times in a row, it's a bit much.
Yeah,
That's all
I
I'm
know.
saying. But if you want to win, you do what you got to do to win.
Yeah, I know.
So you
I
know.
know.
Seems like being dizzy wouldn't help.
It helps enough. As long as I'm hitting him, man.
Okay, sure.
Fuck. No. He's gonna kill me. Okay. I've got it now, but now I have to survive long enough to hit him with it. So let's see if I can do that.
Oh, have we seen
here,
this
guy.
before?
The big finishers? I don't remember. I think so. He killed me.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I couldn't land it because you don't have...
Fuck.
I don't know if it's every character, but most of the characters in this game do not have armor on that. So if you go in close to use it, because they're all super close range, if you don't have the armor and you have to get in super close, you're basically going to get punished like every time.
Well, it was kind of cool looking anyways.
Yeah, well, the setup is always kind of cool looking, but like... I don't know, it's just kind of not worth it for some of them.
See, you're close to halfway up the meter, so
yeah, I
maybe we'll
noticed.
see a good
It's
one
just
this time.
I gotta be so careful right now, because like even if I block, he breaks my block like a lot. I don't know if anybody, like people are gonna probably shit talk me for spending so long on these fights or whatever. But like even when I'm blocking this guy, he's breaking my block super easy. Like, even when I'm dodging, he's doing just as much dodging as I am, you know?
Yeah, this guy's been doing an awful lot of...
Fuck.
It doesn't feel like input reading, does it?
You know what, it might be, I can't quite be sure, but there's a lot of parts of this where it feels like, certain things could be, but I don't want to say that they are.
Yeah, because it just makes it sound like
yeah,
you're
because it just sounds
loser.
like I'm really salty, but I'm really not salty about it. I don't know what the fuck it is. It could be that it's reading inputs, but I don't want to make that assumption.
Yeah, it could just be that he's just never not blocking.
Oh, fuck.
So there's no chip damage. They can break your shield with specific moves, but
Yes.
those moves sometimes take a while.
Those moves almost unanimously take a while.
Okay, so just blocking is really good in this game then.
Yeah, blocking is super good.
As long as you have the timing.
In fact, you have a dodge mechanic that relies on you blocking as well.
Okay.
So yeah, there's basically no reason to not like block. You can't even hit people when you're in Logia and they're blocking. Like if your body's made of fire, they can still block you. And you can block when you're in Logia, so there's like no reason to ever basically not be blocking unless you're trying to hit.
So you've been spending enough time trying to hit that you haven't been blocking.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Maybe I just need to fight this more defensively. I don't
Yeah,
know.
because this guy wants to be defensive. You might as well match him. Goad him into fighting you.
Well, if I goad him into fighting me, though, he's gonna ruin me.
Not if you're blocking.
Yes, if I'm blocking, because he breaks my block. I just said that. If I'm blocking, there's a very good chance that if this guy hits me, he's just gonna break it. He's not gonna give a fuck.
Oh, there you go.
That had nothing to do with blocking. That's me countering. I'm doing an offset counter.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, no, the
fuck.
system still confuses me a little
Yeah, don't
bit.
worry. It's because I'm hitting him halfway through a thing, basically.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Damn it.
Shit.
Yeah, because he's got that, too, which is a thing where he'll just come up behind me whenever the fuck he feels like it, basically. Like, oh, I'm not used to that. Fuck.
And hiding behind the sword wouldn't have helped you, huh?
It probably would have, actually. It would have taken the hit.
Oh,
I just didn't think that it was worth it, and it turned out to take it worth it.
Oh, well. Would have taken, what, like one hit, and then it destroys his sword,
Yeah,
but you're alive.
basically.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, come on, guy. Stop it.
You seen any good animes lately?
No, I've not really been watching a lot of anime. I've been watching a lot of, not even One Piece. I've been watching a lot of, like, Overlord lately, but that stopped running a little bit ago. So
Stopped airing new episodes?
Yeah. We don't get any new episodes of that until June, I want to say? Maybe July? I can't remember. I had to look it up for a reason, basically. Okay, I need to not talk because it's...
Okay.
Yeah, that's the death of me. Go ahead and you tell me about anime.
Well, there's a bunch of stuff on Netflix that Netflix has been, like, like sponsoring the localization of. And like anyone who has Netflix and also would be interested in watching us play this video game, like you already know how that works. They pretend that it's like a Netflix original, and it's just like, no, they just dubbed some legitimate anime. But a bunch of the ones they've picked are pretty decent.
Actually, that's not entirely true. It's kind of not a smart idea to assume that with Netflix anime, because there are quite a few Netflix animes that are literally just paid for by Netflix. That is a thing.
Just straight up like they greenlit stuff?
Yeah, Netflix does that all the time, dude.
They do that for things that, like, they've done it for things that aren't really anime. Like, the stuff that comes out of, like...
No. Some actual
Which
animes
ones?
are... I can't think of any off the top of my head, but Netflix does put in a lot of funding for stuff like that.
Alright, yeah, I know they do fund, like, original series of things, and some of them are done in an anime style, because there's, like, this one studio that's doing that lately.
They'll just totally greenlit actual anime sometimes. That Castlevania thing was 100%
yeah. That's, like, 6 episodes, though.
Yeah, but there are other things that they've
They
done.
were good. I'm expecting that there will be more, but Netflix doesn't always do things in full seasons.
It's one of those weird things where a lot of people expect, like, American companies aren't totally the ones greenlighting certain kinds of anime, but it's like, people forget that Adult Swim greenlit Big O. That's an Adult Swim series. The second season of Big O is owned by Adult Swim. Because that is their series. They own it. Like, well, the second season.
Okay. Now, I think a bunch of the ones that I've seen have been, like, just... They were going to happen anyways. But I don't know for sure. It just looks really goofy when they say Netflix original on stuff, and it turns out to just be that they did the translation. But there's a few decent ones up there. I just recently finished the Magi series, which is listed as 3 different things, which is annoying. But it's like Magi Labyrinth of Magic, and then the things that kind of spin off of it. And like in the last episode, we had been talking about what does or does not make me want to stick with a show if it like bores me. One of the things I'm noticing is that a show can give me nothing to start with other than world building, and I'll be like, I want to see you build this world. Like, that's one of the biggest things for me is I'm noticing shows that take place in a fantasy setting that make it clear right away what's going to happen in that fantasy setting. Like, they set up the premise of, here are our mysteries that we're going to solve, here are the things we can tell you right now, here is the general scope of this world. And I'm like, okay, show me that. And that's been true in Magi is basically just like it's a weird parallel Earth sort of historical thing where they go through a bunch of cultures and stuff. You see a bunch of things. Then that sort of just draws me in. It's like, okay, well, here's this fake anime version of the Middle East, and then they're at war with a fake anime version of Rome, and the fake anime version of China is coming in, and all of them have like demon powers or something, and that's cool. Even terrible anime can hook me in if there's some kind of like special world building sort of like internal politics to their drama, when it's not just like, I'm a guy who's gonna beat stuff up. Okay, next episode. When they give me some of that stuff in the background, it's like it hooks me. I actually, like, while working on art stuff, I usually have Netflix up in a really small window. Not working?
No, keep going. I'm sorry. It's just I can't get in on this guy fast enough.
Well, if one episode of something hooks me, I will continue watching it while drawing, basically. Just, it's in a really small window, I don't have to pay a lot of attention to it, and I will just draw while it goes on. I did that for the entirety of something called Vampire Night, which I'm just gonna tell you right now is basically like 2005, anime vampires in high school having anime vampire troubles, and all of the boys are pretty and all of the girls are like super dramatic, and there's a bunch of stuff that's like, oh, this is basically just 2 steps removed from someone's like doujin. It's very fan fiction-y, very just sort of like, here is my high school fantasy, like, idealized with vampires, and I'm just gonna write that. But there is, like, a bunch of just, like, chess master sort of, like, this guy's doing this thing, and this one's doing this thing.
So it's literally just Twilight, though.
No.
It kind of sounds a lot like what you're describing. I'm sorry.
Firstly, there's no werewolves. Secondly, I've never actually read
really
Twilight.
Matter. So you're bragging about watching anime Twilight.
Sure, if you want to call it that. I'm gonna make you watch it with me now.
No.
Anyways, there's a bunch of, like, political chess master stuff going on in the background of, like, oh, here's this character's from this famous vampire family, and they're trying to, like, slip one over on this other vampire family, and that's why they're attacking this thing or this thing. But while also being high school kids who, like, complain at each other and have love lives and crap. And it's like, I just sat there and let it happen, even through the bits that were, like, incredibly cheesy, because it hooked me in with, oh, there's going to be some depth to this world. And I think that's really just all it takes for me. I recently started watching, like, just yesterday, I decided to just click one of the Netflix animes at random to see, well, let's see what this one's like. And it's basically, I'm very confident that I'm gonna love it. I'm only like 4 or 5 episodes into Children of the Whales, I think they're calling it. You probably saw it on the list of things that we just didn't choose to watch together.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, it's got little bits of cliche to it, where it's like, oh, here's a fantasy world, and here's a mysterious girl that our main character meets, and she has a secret, and, like, every anime does that. But with a very...
Oh my god, no! Come on!
Oh no! You can do it!
No, I can't. I cannot.
Anyways, go to Netflix and click on an anime.
No! He fucked me. Oh my god. I'm sorry, I'm just... that really pissed me off. I landed the big one, and he was down on, like, Magic Pixel, and I'm so angry now. Like, I really just... Because he sidesteps a lot when he's got his guard up. So if I miss him, or if I do something big, like a guard break, he's just going to sidestep it, like, 90% of the time, so it doesn't really fucking matter. Like that. That was me guard breaking and him sidestepping it.
And then he took half your health with one thing.
Yeah, with one hit.
I mean, to be fair, you're supposed to lose this fight.
Yeah, but they expect me to win it.
Yeah, you have to win this losing fight. I guess that's why it's hard.
I guess.
And having a scripted fight in a an actual fighting game, like, that doesn't happen, right? Like, it shouldn't.
No, that doesn't happen, no.
Yeah, it's not like an RPG where you can just have their stats amped up to 999 and you can't touch them.
Because there's not really gonna be stats like that. It's not really a thing.
Basically, though, I was watching an anime on the Netflix.
Okay.
It was actually good enough that I was thinking I may want to stop watching it on my own and to see if you wanted to watch it with me. That might happen.
I don't know. Probably not.
I'm sorry, I'm out of things to say.
It's okay, it's just like, you're literally talking about anime you watched on Netflix that is, like, not the one that this game is based on.
I don't watch this, and it was I was trying to make a continuation of a thing we were talking about last week, where it's like, you were like, oh, Megan doesn't ever give anything a chance. It's like, no, here's some descriptions of things I gave a chance to.
You watched anime Twilight instead.
Yeah, so it's not like I just hate everything. I'll watch things that I don't think are necessarily all that good if they have aspects to them that interest me. And, like, that's all I'm saying. Like, world building or just sort of presenting your premise really well at the beginning so that the mysteries are clear instead of just sort of having one thing happen and the episode ends. Like, I don't know, it's just... There's certain things that will hook me, and then there's certain things that don't. And you had me watch through, what, like a season of One Piece, and it was just dudes running...
It was like 3 episodes.
No. Fuck off.
Are you sure?
Yes, we went through like 13 episodes of some assholes running around on an island because something happened on one side of the island, and then they had to go to the other side because someone's house had to be defended or something. And then there were some barrels of oil and they couldn't get up the hill, so they had to go all the way around. And then they were just running around like an island that was, I guess, like a mile long, so they just spun around in fucking circles.
Okay.
I remember it being way more than 3 episodes.
Okay. I don't know.
I remember it being really
how much we
boring.
actually watched. Okay.
Yes, they beat a boss, basically. Like, they beat the end boss of the thing, and it was just someone's butler. And that was it.
Alright.
And none of these characters were there.
No, well, Luffy was, but of these two, no, nobody's there.
Yeah, it's like, this and what you had showed me are, like, almost unrecognizable from each other. And I'll be fair, that happens. Like, if you were to
The
show
art
me...
style changes, too.
If you were to show me, like, the end of the Boo saga, and then show me the beginning of Dragon Ball, they don't really look all that similar. But, like, I don't know.
Yeah. Should we just call this and not just come back to this for another week or something?
Yeah, if you're fed up with this guy, we've gone for a bit.
I feel like it's not right to keep making people watch me lose this fight. It's not entertaining.
I'm trying my best, but I've got nothing
But also,
left.
it's like I don't honestly think I'm gonna win it. I don't think it's gonna be as easy as just being like, oh man, now I gotta just buckle down. Because it's like, I've been doing that. I've been trying to buckle down, and it's just not working. I think this is one of those fights where I'm going to have to stop and do a lot of training as Ace in a different chapter so that I can come back in and actually land shit.
Does this have a training mode?
No.
No?
No. You have to just do more of the I mean, I could just play one player against...
Yeah.
No,
so
it's not the same.
Okay.
Because in story mode there are levels, and the characters' levels do affect certain things. So yeah, I basically would just be grinding at that point as Ace against I don't know, somebody else entirely in Luffy's storyline. I don't remember who the fuck it even is. It might actually be this guy. I can't recall. But this guy's stats are all like pumped up to fucking max. So I'm like losing super hard to him because the best I've got is I could turtle and just wait with my my supers coming out like this and just hope that I can like shoot him in the knees enough to get him to do stuff, you know.
Well,
I don't think it's gonna do me much good, to be real.
So then you want this to be like the last shot?
No, maybe, I don't know.
Because this is already like you went through 2 bouts of this after saying maybe we should stop.
Yeah, I know. I was just suggesting that we should stop.
No, I'm just saying we can stop whenever you want because it's already been long enough.
Okay, yeah, it has.
Yeah, I
think we started by this by pointing out that like this is we only wanted to do about half an hour.
Oh yeah. But we go further because you're having fun. If you've stopped having fun, we should stop.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
I did have something I wanted to ask you last time, and we never came around to it. It's not related to the game, not directly, sort of. So we've been seeing a trend lately, and neither of us have been watching these animes, but there's been a trend of just doing CGI animes that kind of have this sort of, not this style, but the whole partial cell shading, imitate the manga sort of thing going on.
Yeah.
And this one actually looks better than trailers I've seen of some of the actual TV anime that have been coming out.
Yeah, a lot of people have been pointing out, if you're talking about that, like Berserk is a really good example, where the Berserk anime for 2017, I want to say it was the one from last year, was garbage. It was the worst version of Berserk there has ever been. It wasn't just that it wasn't animated, it was also that it was like fucking, it was just terrible in general. Like it was they tried to take a bunch of stuff and like condense it down, and in condensing it down you kind of fuck with certain aspects of the story. But then on top of that, it's all CG and it's not done very well. It's done really poorly. And nobody on it was like a 3D animator. They were like just like model placers or whatever.
So they knew how to make stuff in Blender and then put them into places?
Literally, I've seen some of the animation from it because I didn't want to watch it when I found out that it was full CG. I just kind of wanted to skim bits and pieces and see what was up. And it was like, yeah, if you go in and actually watch it, it looks like some people working on it literally just were placing models and going, it's pretty good probably. It's things like a character getting like her shoulder shuffled and then she falls over. And it's like in the original version, maybe she fell over and there was some animation to it, but the model falls over sideways.
That's great.
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
No. Please. This might actually be enough. I don't know. Nope. I missed him. Yeah, that was a miss.
What?
Yeah,
It
that was
looked
a
like it
total
was
fucking
right
miss.
on
It
him.
looked like it was on him, I know, I agree. But I
Well.
missed him, apparently. I might actually beat him here, I don't know.
Ooh.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe getting you to talk about something helped?
No,
it
because
didn't.
usually that distracts me too much.
Alright.
So that was... I'm sorry, you guys, that took so fucking long.
I'm
It had
sorry I'm
no
not good
reason
at
to take that
describing
long.
anime.
No, it's fine. Your
If
taste in
anyone-
anime is just terrible. It's fine.
Whatever. If anyone wants to hear me actually describe, like, Vampire Knight or whatever, just tell us in the comments and I'll just prepare myself with notes on how to describe this shitty anime.
Oh yeah, and it's. I think it's been pointed out, and I think I've said this before, but there is a rebellion against the government of this world, and Luffy's dad is the head.
Okay.
But it's not pointed out until about halfway through the series, where somebody's talking about Luffy, and then they talk about his grandpa. Because his grandpa shows up, and his grandpa's like the most decorated Marine in the entirety of their country.
Okay.
And they're like, that's your fucking grandpa? And he goes, yeah, I'm gonna be king of the pirates. And then they start talking about Luffy's dad, and they're like, Luffy's dad must be a badass. And they're like, who's Luffy's dad? And he goes, oh, it's Dragon the Revolutionary. And they're like the guy who's leading the rebellion against the entirety of the government. And they're like, yeah. And they're like, oh god. Like, his whole family is just people who were fucking with other people.
Okay. So really, in the end, you tried so hard, and it took you so long.
Got so far, but it didn't even matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See the thing on his arm?
Ask.
ASCII. I wish the A had been a little bit higher up so that the argument could be that the C is smaller than everything because it was put in afterwards. Because the C is significantly smaller than the ASE. But it's not small enough to be like, oh, we just had just barely enough space to squeeze it in there. It looks almost like intentional because they just didn't have enough space to do the whole thing.
Or maybe that's just how you're supposed to spell it for his name.
The S is crossed out, though.
Yeah, like a pirate crossbones.
No, it's just somebody didn't have spell check. They didn't have spell check on his tattoo.
But they also couldn't, like,
Tattoo.
cover it up in any more creative way.
Well, it's like pirate era. What are they gonna do? Like,
slice that bit of your arm off and then hope it grows back okay enough?
oh, it wouldn't.
I guess it wouldn't.
Also, that stuff is usually pretty deep. Like, it would leave a big old scar that you just couldn't tattoo at that point.
Well, I don't know. This is a series with a lot of superpowers. Maybe it would grow back. Maybe he could burn it off. You know that?
No,
you know that Wolverine can't have tattoos. They just heal.
Yeah, but if he got a tattoo before his healing factor turned on, which I think is what's going on with the Ace's stuff, he wouldn't be able to get rid of it. It would just stay there. Ace, I think, got that tattoo before he ate the devil fruit. I don't remember I bet there's a story behind it, and I just don't remember what it is.
Maybe. It seems like something you'd want to put a story behind.
Yeah. And before you have a chance to say it, nobody can animate tears in CG. I don't know why.
Yeah, no.
Fluids don't work if you're doing
They
things
can,
in 3D
but
models.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't expect it. They try to keep to style, too, so they gotta figure out if they want it to look like water or look like manga.
Yeah.
I accept.
Oh, I think this is this is Kid Ace.
Okay.
And that's Luffy's grandpa. I forget his name. I want to say it's Garp.
Okay.
He's just Admiral Garp or something. He looks like a completely normal person, and all of the Marines have this weird thing going on where they got to be like themed or whatever. And Garp is just a normal dude. So Garp's entire fucking thing is that when he gets on his ship and he's actually being a captain, he puts like the shittiest dog nose you've ever seen on his face and like a fucking hairband with ears on it. And he's just the dog pirate. Well, not pirate, he's a Marine admiral, but like, you know what I mean. Yeah, it's
par for the course for this setting, I guess.
It seems really weird. And then, despite the fact that he's just a normal person, he then grabs the anchor for the boat and will lift it up, and it's like a cannonball that weighs hundreds of tons, and will swing it around and throw it at ships. And everybody's just like, how does your grandpa do that? And Luffy's like, I don't know, my grandpa's just really strong. And it's like, okay.
Well, that was
cool.
The end. That was a pretty quick one.
Yeah.
Now what?
I don't know, because now we're just getting the title screen again.
Yeah,
So, this was what I was worried about, and the story mode for this game was literally just that.
Well...
It's just the Meriford arc, or whatever the fuck that's... I think it's called Meriford, I can't remember.
Huh. So...
I'm actually kind of disappointed by that.
But characters that we didn't get a chance to use had
we
experience.
Probably have to go and unlock them. But yeah, characters that we don't use in the storyline.
Well, there's branches in some
totally
of those
there too.
bits.
Yeah, and I'm betting you unlock characters by doing things like that and all that other stuff. But it's like, it feels really, I don't know, that's kind of a letdown. I kind of would have wanted it to go a little bit farther. You've got the time enough. Why not just go in and like, do... the other, like, push it farther than that. Have the first chapter be this, and then pick up from there. But maybe they started production on this before anything really big had actually happened in the manga after the death of Ace. So they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. That could have been it.
They could have at
like,
least...
I don't know.
I expected even if it was going to keep replaying the same stuff, you'd think they would have at least given a few more of the characters a chapter.
I'm not sure why it didn't start before this, because we have, like we have Brooke, and looking at the potential characters, we saw someone in there who is from the same... Well, we saw two people in there who were from the same arc that Brooke is from. So, I don't... And that's the one that comes a little bit before this, and then you have Fishman, and then you have everything else. And we've seen some of the Fishmen. I guess the argument would probably be that in order to do those stories properly, they'd need more characters. And they just didn't want to give up roster spaces or something. Like, they didn't want the roster to be 90 characters, which in a fighting game, a lot of people argue is actually kind of bad. Like, a big roster is fine, but make sure that they're not clone characters, is the argument that usually comes out.
But none of these seem to be clone-ish.
No, they're all very unique, and maybe that's the reason why they didn't want a roster of 90 characters.
Yeah, that's more work.
That being said, though, at the same time, like, I can't. I don't know why you do it this way. At least do like flashbacks or something weird like that, right?
Maybe
like,
we've unlocked something now that we've done this.
I don't know, maybe. We do have a bunch of characters that we have not unlocked, so we cannot play them for like the final version of this stuff, remember? I'm hoping that it gives us some characters at the very least. For having done this, because we've been playing as and against the same like 6 characters this whole time.
Yeah. And none of them are the characters that like there's just so many people on the level up screen who are just like not there.
No, most of those characters you're not gonna... I mean, we're probably going to see them,
like
but we didn't get to play as
the mode select screen at the beginning. Like, they're not in it either.
Mode select? Oh,
yeah, when we go into story.
Some of those characters... some of those characters aren't really fighters. I know some of them are also the assist characters who don't get models, but get, like a drawn cell or whatever that just appears in the bottom left-hand corner.
Okay, fair enough. That hasn't really come up much.
Well, that's because we don't really use the assists when we're doing the fighting stuff. We could potentially do that if we wanted to. We just keep, like, skimming over it.
I just click random.
I know you do.
Special thanks to Quality Control Testing Company. That's a really straightforward name.
Pretty straightforward, yeah. There's a lot of testers, though. You know how, you can usually tell that a game isn't Japanese originally is how many testers there are on it. But I don't know if that's actually true here. This might be... No, you know what? There's a lot of French in there. This could be a Canadian game, because those look like they could be Canadian testers. Huh.
Maybe. There's a bunch all over the place
this,
for nationality in the names.
Is this an Ubisoft game? This isn't, is it?
I don't know. We got this game by accident, folks.
Yes, we did.
We forgot to stop the Humble Bundle subscription.
Yeah. We subscribed to Humble Bundle once to get the incredibly cheap Dark Souls 2. And then we forgot to cancel it, so we ended up paying it for 2 months.
Which is this
was the other one that happened, and we were like, oh, okay.
There was some other stuff, and I don't remember what any of them were.
Because we tried to cancel it, and I guess we didn't hit the full cancel on it. We were like, oh, whoops.
Yeah. Yeah, and generally you just don't buy 1 month of a subscription of a thing. Like, that's generally not assumed, so yeah, I just kept doing it.
Yeah.
Oh well, anything new?
It doesn't look like it, because I think it would have told us if we had something new. Yeah, I guess what it is that you have to go into Paramount, go into, like, whatever episodes you have the special stuff for, and then beat these little green missions to get the additional things. And it's like, I could tell you that that's probably the case because Buggy is on this, and Buggy is, I think, a character that we only play as during this one situation, and I don't even know if we have him unlocked normally, so we might have to beat the game as... Well, beat that piece as Buggy to play as Buggy, which is like, I don't want to do that. But it's like, I know for a fact that there are more characters, because if you go into the collection, you can see things like, is it Transporter Snail? No. It's not this one, sorry. It's, is it Pirate Base? Yes.
Acquire and view
Yes, characters. And then it's this one, and then you can go in and see the full roster if you want to. And it's like Luffy 2 years ago, which is really annoying the hell out of me now that I realize that this is the only part of the game for the story. Because we've got Luffy 2 years ago, and then Luffy. And it's like, wait, so we never got the point where we were
Yeah, I
Luffy.
thought that we were 2 years ago, and it would flash forward to...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too.
I thought we were in prologue.
No, that's what I was thinking. The whole of the storyline was the prologue. And then we never got to the point where it's just normal Luffy.
So some of these characters
they didn't even
have
set up the time skip,
them?
now that I'm realizing it. I'm guessing the ones with the marks are the ones that we've actually got. Yeah.
Okay.
They're also the ones that are in the level up screen. So
okay.
There's that. So characters we don't have include Jozu, who is a guy who turns into diamonds, I'm pretty sure. I said it earlier, but Buggy the Clown. Jinbei, who apparently is a playable character in here, and we just don't have him.
Can you buy from this? There's some money. Buy him.
I don't know.
Purchase him because you like him.
Oh. Maybe you can.
Just go and do that. Because we didn't know what money was for.
Yeah, I didn't realize. Well, we've got $1 million fucking dollars. Let's look through the rest of this real quick. Because we got Crocodile, Hancock, who is a snake woman, who I think is also going to eventually marry Luffy. I think that's what they're pushing her for. That's the Chi-Chi of the series.
Sure.
Moria, who I think we looked at for a split second last week, and you were like, what the fuck is that? And I said, don't worry about it.
Yeah, are those wings?
Still don't worry about it. Yeah, he's a little demon man. I forget what Moria's entire thing is. I know he's... well, I'm pretty sure, because he's the guy in charge of the ship that he runs is like a mansion with an entire, like, forest attached to it. And I want to say it's called Thriller Bark or Thriller Park, and I can't remember which. And he is Halloween all the time.
I can tell.
And I think he's one of the warlords of the sea, which are the pirates under the, like, the Marines, like, heel, but I can't remember. I want to say he is. I think he's the first one that Luffy and his gang beat up of his type. And then you've got Mihawk. Hawkeye Mihawk is his full name. Bartholomew Kuma. He's Cat Bear. Sengoku. And then over here we've got Smoker 2 years ago.
Okay.
Blackbeard. Red-haired Shanks, even though we never fight against him or as him, we just see him for a split second in the cutscenes. Oh my god, they've got Trafalgar Law in here, and they're not... They didn't even include anything, and I'm so pissed off. This is like one of the incredibly important characters later on in the series.
Well, it's all the same to me.
I know, it's just like... He's also super cool because his entire thing is he's a surgeon. Like, he's a doctor, and he's the captain of his crew. And his devil fruit power lets him do instant surgery on people and then pull things out. So if he wants to, he can touch you and create a cube around like a body part and then pull it, and he can separate your body without killing you. So the parts continue to function when he holds them.
How is that a superpower?
He does it to touch people that he wants power over and take their hearts. And then he's got the cube of heart, and he goes, if you do anything to fuck with me, I will crush your heart in my hand, and you will be dead. And they go, okay, you're fucking powerful then.
Okay.
And he just takes over a bunch of things doing that. There's Kid. There's Drake. There's Bartholomew. Doflamingo's in this, and his arc is completely skipped over, which is absolutely fucked up.
Well, they don't skip anything so much as they don't do anything.
This is another final boss style character. This is like the big dude that they have to fight after the time skip.
The shading on them feathers is different from the shading on the model.
I noticed too. The feathers are like a completely different form. Fujitora, the blind samurai, Burgess, he works directly under Blackbeard. Smoker not 2 years ago.
Wait, was there a difference?
This one and this one? Because no, he's an adult, so just barely. Oh yeah, there is a scar. God, who the fuck cuts him with? It must be somebody had to have cut him with sea salt.
Did that really constitute a second character slot?
No, I'm sure he's exactly the same, and that's just like an incredibly lazy version of that. Bon Clay, Eneru. Oh, that's the lightning guy!
Okay.
The fuck? Perona's in here.
That literally looks like a blow-up doll.
Koala.
That one looks mostly human.
This is Luffy and Ace's third brother, Sabo.
Okay.
They're not actually brothers, by the way. I should point that out. It's not explained in this, but they're like blood brothers. Big old quotes on that. None of them share any parentage whatsoever. And yeah, Perona's kind of... she's got a weird... Yeah, they wanted to do something spooky with her eyes, and it just comes off as being a little bit unsettling compared to other characters.
It's fine if it wasn't on a 3D model rendered in this style where things don't move quite right.
Yeah, maybe making it a 3D model was a bit of a bad idea as well.
She looks like she's inflatable.
Maybe just a little bit, yeah. I could see that.
Like, I'm not even just saying it because she's, like, supposed to be sexy. It's like, it's that and the shading and the eyes and the hair doesn't have strands to it.
I'm pretty sure she's not supposed to be, like, attractive. Like, I mean, obviously, like, there's going to be people who are like, oh, yeah, no, she's attractive. But it's like, I don't think that's the actual intent of that one. I'm not sure.
Are you just going to buy anyone you can?
I'm going to buy a lot of the more expensive characters. But yeah, I think at this point we're down to a handful of characters left. And I'm just going to start buying them in order, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hancock.
What are the odds that this will unlock new chapters in story?
I don't think that there's going to be a chance of that. I'll check just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to get it. Oh my god, Blackbeard. We're down to not enough for all of these characters anymore. Who are some of the cheaper ones? That's 1 mil, that's 1 mil, that's 1 mil. 1 mil, 1 mil, 1 mil. Okay, is everybody left just 1 million? Yeah, that's it. Okay, who do you feel like?
I don't. They're all the same to me.
Okay, I'll grab Bon Clay. I like Bon Clay. He's cool.
What makes him cool? Because he doesn't look very cool.
Because he's a gag character who's super strong and is the one dude in the entirety of Impel Down who, at the very start, is willing to help Luffy break out of prison. Because Luffy put him in there, and as angry as he is, he's like, no, we need to help your brother not die. And he's like, okay, let's do this then. Let's see if we get anything. No, we didn't get anything. Nothing has changed. Okay, free fight.
Yeah.
Alright. 2P. This is gonna be the final bit of this, so... I mean, it might not be the very last time that we play this game, but it's pretty likely.
Characters
What?
you unlocked
Are here?
Are all of them?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. I had the...
No, there were a handful
I thought you had
that
gotten more
I
than
didn't.
this.
No,
Okay.
this is
yeah,
it.
okay.
I'm pretty sure this is it anyway.
Alright.
I'm curious to see how 2 of these guys play, because I have not played as them, so... let's see, that's not what I want. This is. I kind of like this idea.
Okay.
Let's see. You know what? I'm not even going to bother doing this. Let's just...
You look one look at that guy and was like...
No, I don't like Mr. 3, but we didn't actually have a bunch of those, so...
Oh, well, I'm just gonna random.
If you really want to do random, you can.
Because I don't have any attachment to any of these characters, and I
pick
don't
them that look cool
really...
if you want to.
I don't really do this game, so the controls I'm gonna be flailing at regardless.
Yeah.
Random button mashing, random characters.
Let's play... Okay, the 1000 Sunny is Luffy and his crew's ship. So
Okay,
we're gonna pay... We're gonna play on the back of that ship real quick.
Why is it a bear?
The people they chose for you, 2 of them are storyline characters.
Huh, okay.
This keeps happening. You need to not hit random because it's just going to do the exact same characters all over again.
Okay. Well, I don't have any real attachment to any characters.
Also, it's not a bear, it's a lion. What are you talking about?
It was a bear with a sun behind it.
No, that's a lion.
I mean, it's very stylized.
It's the Sunny.
Sure.
I love the Sunny. The Sunny's fucking amazing.
You called it, it's like sun really nice. I thought it was a sun with a bear in front of it. Basically. That didn't look like a lion's mane at all.
No, it's a lion.
So everyone's got these little
we had a little unique one though, because Jinbei and Ace are on 2 different teams, and then now you've got your generic ones, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the 1000 Sunny is the second ship that Luffy's crew gets, and the first one is destroyed in a really sad occurrence. Basically, just the ship falls the fuck apart, and then everybody gets super sad when it's gone. And it winds up getting, like, I think they burn it, like they Viking funeral a pirate ship.
How do I block?
It's B.
Oh.
And jump is A.
Okay.
Good luck blocking, though. Oh my. Nothing. Just... I went to side... You actually broke my block for a second there.
Oh, I'm dead. What?
It's just Brook versus Brook, don't worry. I don't like that they didn't pick different colors.
No, but this camera makes it obvious who's not me and who's you.
I guess, yeah.
Oh.
I like Brook's jump, it's real good. He's the floatiest jump in this whole goddamn game.
I don't know what I just...
Oh, you froze me in place. I can't move. Aw, yeah, motherfucker. Soul King Brook. So I actually landed one of these in the 2-on-2 fight. Is nice. I like this. And it didn't seem to do anything.
Because I held down block because you told me which button it was.
Okay. Oh, well, I'm dead. Oh, fuck. No. You're freezing me. I'm pretty sure Jinbei's not a... He might be a double fruit user, but I don't remember. I'm pretty sure he isn't. I think he just punches real good. Like, he's a fish man. I think he's like a deep sea fish man, too. I don't know what kind of fish he's supposed to be. But he's some kind of weird, like, overly Japanese oni sort of fish. Alright, fine, Akainu. Fuck.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay,
I'm just
fine.
trying.
Well, now I'm Moria, and I don't know what the fuck he does.
Man, the scale of these characters is not quite how I expected.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't even see. I'm too tall. Holy shit.
Yeah, if you can't see, imagine how I feel right now.
I know. Oh, this is not good. Why is he so tall? Why did they make him so fucking tall?
I don't know how to do this. Fuck.
I wanted to see, I wasn't sure, but I figured it out there at the end. You cannot build meter just by getting hit in this game. You actively have to be the one who hits the other player.
That's annoying.
Do you want to do one more, or are we good?
This is run long. I think we're fine.
Final thoughts?
I still don't quite understand this game.
Yeah.
But also, Children of the Whales on Netflix, it's actually really good.
Yeah, okay. Good night, everybody.
Have a good night.